What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? A lot of us have problems with the church today, and rightfully so. Many people who are in the church are some of the worst ever, including the pastors. But I want you to pay very close attention to two things here in this story: the alleged crime and the time. A Texas megachurch pastor has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for bilking investors out of millions of dollars, but not too many millions. In the grand scheme of scheming and scamming, it pales in comparison to some of the people who have gotten a slap on the wrist. Kirby John Cardwell was sentenced Wednesday in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he and his co-defendant Gregory Smith were indicted in 2018. Cardwell, who in March pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, was the senior pastor of Houston's Windsor Village United Methodist Church, which has about 14,000 members. He's been a spiritual advisor to Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama. According to federal prosecutors, Cardwell and Smith, a Shreveport-based investment advisor, used their clout and influence to persuade people to invest about $3.5 million in historical Chinese bonds. The bonds were reportedly issued by the former Republic of China that lost power to the communist government in 1949. The bonds aren't recognized by China's current government and has no investment value. Cardwell used his status as the pastor of a megachurch to help convince the many victim investors that they were making legitimate investments, but instead he took their hard-earned money from them and used it for his own personal gain, acting U.S. Attorney Alexander Van Hook said in a statement. Cardwell used about $900,000 he received from the scheme to maintain his lifestyle and pay down credit cards and mortgages, according to the Justice Department. Cardwell has a master's degree from Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania and had worked in the financial industry. In November, Smith was also sentenced to 6 years in prison. In a video posted on Facebook, Floyd LeBlanc, chairman of the Windsor Village Church Family Personal Committee, said Cardwell has taken full responsibility and paid full restitution to all the victims. Let me say that again, fam. Cardwell has taken full responsibility and paid full restitution to all the victims. LeBlanc said that Cardwell has remained active within the church during his case, including helping the visual ministry and weekly food distributions to families during the pandemic. Mr. Cardwell has apologized and asked for forgiveness from the people harmed in this matter, LeBlanc said. LeBlanc also described Cardwell as a victim for choosing the wrong business partners. We're very disappointed that Mr. Cardwell's contributions to society and his extraordinary efforts to make every victim whole resulted in a sentence that is disappointing, LeBlanc said. Cardwell was set to report to federal prison on June 22nd. Fam, I repeated the amount because I have seen cases where white dudes and others who are non-black have received less time for taking 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, scheming people, and never paying it back. I'm not saying that the pastor don't deserve some type of punishment, but come on, fam. All I'm looking for is a little consistency. 6 years for paying back money, like nobody got killed, did nobody commit suicide. Okay, people experienced some pain, some unrest, some stress, but he paid every single dollar back. And all I'm saying is this, fam, usually when you pay the money back, they don't even send you to prison, usually. And if they do, especially for paying back for I know 3.5 seems like a lot of money, but in white collar crime, that's crumbs. 3.5 million, that's crumbs compared to some of this stuff some of these white boys be doing. I mean, fam, all you gotta do is turn on American Greed and you'll see what I'm talking about. These dudes get 6 years for stealing 200 million and never paying it back. 3, 4, 500 million, never paying it back. Sometimes people commit suicide because they've been had for all of their savings. And these dudes just get slaps on the wrist. So this tells me that the pastor must have pissed off somebody severely. Like he must have really ran somebody hot. This is one of those situations where I do believe that perhaps his affiliation with those presidents in the end cost him. But what do you think, fam? I can't figure it out. Drop a comment. Perhaps you have the answer. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Yeah.